well, Freddy was in that top lane, and they were immediately targeting with that Aatrox ban. Twisted Fate, kind of a standard ban these days. One of the main champions in the mid lane, and now they're starting to focus Jesiz, another champion they talked about, Orianna being taken away.
So we have a lot of changes to mid laners lately. I mean, Ziggs and Yasuo could touch a little bit in this patch here, but TF and Orianna stay the same, so they become even stronger now. Therefore, they're going to be banned away. And the Aatrox, it's been a ban against Freddy a lot of times in the last few weeks, and it's been his safe pick up in his top lane where he would always do well.
So, with Evelynn banned out, do we think this could potentially be
Lucian
first pick Lucian, for Roccat? We'll see how it works out. SK, of course, as we mentioned, KO changed in 4.11, so may not even get him through the bans yet. Exactly. A Xerath ban. Oh. That's definitely a first ban for sure. Was first picked, of course, by Overpow just last week during the Super Week, and Roccat seemed pretty happy with that one, and sure enough, they lock in Lucian.
Yeah, so Lucian, again, a bit like with the mid laners, he's untouched. Therefore, he's still very, very strong, maybe even stronger, because some of the junglers, with Elise now, with the changes to Spirit of Dancing Golem, you no longer give tenacity, gives it less HP early on as well. Some people might not favor Elise, or at least you have to play her differently, you have to play her more aggressive, so we need to see what SK Gaming wants to play against this Lucian.
So this is something that has been developing. Syndra in the mid lane. Everybody now plays this. This is the number 2, I would say, go to. Number 1's probably Twisted Fate these days. Number 2, everybody picks on Syndra.
So with the changes to Athene's, where it gives less magic or magic resist, which happened in 4.10, Syndra got even stronger. And now as well, with Mikael's being more expensive, you can land a stun. There's less chance of the enemy support to have Mikael's to then cleanse the stun. So you can set up kills very easily. And she's a lane bully. She scales well into mid game where she can start blowing up people. Her only issue is, teamfight wise, it can be very hard to position properly because you are very squishy, you're very immobile. So it's easy for people to target you and lock you down. We need to see though with Jesiz, normally he plays the very safe champions. Now he's playing a bit more aggressive. If he can actually make some plays here, because Syndra is very hard to play properly.
I should also mention Morgana, of course, was locked in and rated. Pretty much the number 1 support. Maybe we'll see whether Thresh gets picked by VandeR. It's one of his go-tos. Roccat currently flicking between a couple of champions, but Gragas and Lucian were the final selections. Wasn't sure. We've seen Corki a number of times from Celaver last week. Worked very well for him, but it seems it will be Lucian. And again, this is Gragas in the top lane, which has become very popular over in Korea, over in North America, and now we're starting to see it leak into Europe.
Should be in the top lane here at least. Very safe pick all around. We can talk a little bit about it in the game. But I actually just quickly want to talk about the Morgana. It works so well with Syndra because the Black Shield means you can move freely around in these teamfights here. So it's a very good combo already from SK with the first 2 picks. And now follow up with even more damage.
Yeah, well, we see Elise. It's kind of a fallback champion for Svenskeren. Would have wanted the Elise in there. But Candy Panda on Kog'Maw. He was up against it twice last week. Didn't work out very well for him. This time, he's got it himself.
Just overall, such a good pick. Still, I wouldn't say perm banned in OGN, but banned in many of the games and otherwise picked if open. And because you can build Trinity Force and Blade of the Rune King and you were completely untouched by the Bloodthirster nerfs, you just stayed up there as one of the best AD carries and you do well in the laning phase. Your mid game is even fine now and your late game, of course, is absolutely fantastic. So Candy Panda looking to scale up to the late game. Jesiz can follow him up there and you can just blow up a target.
We'll see whether Roccat do lock in. Nami, of course, risen to popularity over the last couple of weeks here in Europe. Very confident champion. VandeR has played it a number of times, but more importantly, it's the Fizz in the mid lane. That's actually quite crucial because the Fizz against Syndra, if he gets in close, he could cause some serious problems for Jesiz.
So he needs to be careful at first because there's a lot of poke coming in from Jesiz early on here, and if he gets too low, once he jumps in, Jesiz will be able to just instantly kill him. However, there's outplay potential here from Overpow. We need to see how he wants to actually play the lane. I would expect him to start Flask and just trying to sustain in the start, get a few levels, and then maybe try and go aggressive if someone like Jankos joins in with Lucian.
Well, final choice.
He's here.
Here's Yorick. And we knew he was back. We knew he was back. We saw him last week, of course. He made an appearance. Yorick versus Gragas in that top lane. It could be a riveting one, ladies and gentlemen.
And it fits so well in this comp again. You have Morgana with the Black Shield to protect your 2 carries, or you choose one of them. Whoever actually goes down, Yorick is there, so either Jesiz or Candy Panda just gets the ulti from Freddy here, comes back to life, can once again be a pain in a certain place for Roccat. And overall, the SK Gaming comp here, going into teamfights, it's going to be very, very hard to deal with for Roccat. And they're looking more actually to find some picks, especially with the Fizz, maybe start split pushing a little bit. I don't think a Yorick late game can actually hold the Fizz here. I might be wrong, because Yorick, of course, can use ult on himself and might be able to punish Fizz, but Fizz late game is very scary to deal with. in split push because he can burst you down so fast.
Yeah, we saw Freddy, of course, playing it last week against the Super Hawk crew. It was a game they lost.
Yeah,
with
long
Yorick.
game.
But again, they've been playing it very differently, so has different builds to Freddy. We'll see how it works out this week. So, champions are locked in. Which team do you think has an advantage? Tweet us #ROCWin or #SKWin to @LOL Esports, and we'll see if the lineups have changed your mind. Remember, it was a vote towards SK at the start. Only 62% though, so we'll see if it sways your opinions.
We have two very strong solo laners for SK Gaming here. Yorick is actually meant to beat Gragas up in his top lane, because he can just harass him out, and Gragas won't be able to out-sustain Yorick, which we normally see Gragas can do. So SK Gaming should be winning the solo laners early on here.
Well, we'll see if they can. Of course, Roccat, they have to generally get ahead to win. SK Gaming generally have a weak lane phase. Let's see how it works out, ladies and gentlemen. Game 1 of Week 8 is underway. Roccat starting out as the blue team up against SK Gaming as the red team, starting on 4.11.
And for Roccat here, if they do manage to get a very nice ult from Overpow, if they manage to land a bubble from VandeR, maybe Xaxus with his ulti, there's a lot of ways for them to start fights here against a mobile team from SK Gaming, because Panda, no jumps. Jesiz, no jumps, of course. Freddy, no jumps. I mean, they can land their ultis on pretty much every one of these and try and set it up pretty easily. So we could see Roccat, if they do manage to get the engage in fights, just instantly kill the first target, force the ulti from Freddy, and then kill once again, and then already have like the edge going, but it's gonna be a tricky one. Always annoying to play against Yorick, always annoying to play against the Black Shield, especially against two damage dealers in Jesiz and Panda, who will be able to destroy you very fast.
And of course we can see that Crystalline Flask being picked up by both Freddy and Overpow, keeping themselves sustained in the lane. And also, you know, with the changes 4.11 brought, of course, it did extend the lane experience. He's gone from, what, 1250 to 1400, which effectively means 2v1s are kind of off the books again now.
Yeah, and also with tower changes, they do more damage now. You only need 2 shots from the tower to be to 75% extra tower damage, which means it's very, very hard to dive, especially early on when you're not really very tanky. And it's another hit to lane swap. So standard lanes is probably gonna be the normal thing, unless you have a very, very bad matchup, then you might still swap around. And of course the Dragon is still very important, and you don't really want to swap up to top lane and risk giving the Dragon over to the enemy team.
Yeah, and there was changes, of course.
Yeah,
Dragon,
4.10.
of course, a number of changes in the 4.11 patch. Please feel free to Google that, but on a separate screen. Don't switch away from the stream right now, because this game is underway. Bottom lane, this is where we're interested to see how this focus is going to go. Kog'Maw we're expecting to be a little bit weaker until around about 4 level 5.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Lucian is very, very strong early on, and with Nami who puts the E onto him, he can trade really well. You have sustain as well from Nami, you don't have it from Morgana, so definitely in favor of Roccat here, 2v2 in the lane. And also, you can max your W on Nami, use it on Morgana when she black shields, and it will actually break the black shield, and therefore you can land the bubble afterwards. But you need to get at least a few levels into your W first.
You can see, of course, VandeR there poking around, using exactly that double, which I'll give you the exact name for, because you guys at home might love that one. It is the ebb and flow, of course.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. That is going to be crucial. The Aqua Prison just coming out of VandeR. If Panda gets caught, which he did against Alliance last week, Nif managed to catch him in that bubble. That was the first blood that came in there. He's got to be very, very careful this week.
Pretty much for the entire game he needs to be careful, because again, we talked about it just before, Lucian wants to get to him and kick him back, Gragas wants to ult him back to the team, you want to land the bubble, Fizz wants to jump him, I mean everyone wants to go towards him, and Jankos here going towards Svenskeren.
And again, you talk about the Lucian kick, it's another thing that caught him last week.
Yeah.
We are seeing Svenskeren though, getting caught out. Jankos, trouble in his own jungle here. Syndra does manage to actually knock him away from Svenskeren. Overpow comes around, he fancies putting some damage back on this one. It's a good return, and it forces the flash from Svenskeren.
And we didn't actually notice this before, but Overpow is running teleport, so no ignite on Fizz here. Instead, he's looking more to use the double teleport with Xaxus to play the global game, split pushing around here, use the teleports to create an advantage, and then punish SK Gaming if someone moves down to try and stop him from split pushing. Because there's only one teleport on the side of SK Gaming, and that's on Freddy.
Well, with both flashes burnt for the junglers, who does that punish the most between Jankos and Svenskeren? Obviously, both have, you got the repel, the kick, everybody's got their own gap closed there.
Really depends on how aggressive you want to play the ganks. If you use repel in as Elise to start the gank, it's very, very risky now without the flash, because if Jankos is there to counter gank, there's no way for you to get out. Listen, a bit more mobility. He's jumping around, can use the Q to engage and then save W in case he wants to back out of the fight. So it should be in favor of Jankos here. And we can actually talk about Elise a little bit because Spirit of the Ancient Golem changed, no tenacity, gives less HP early on as well, gives more late game because you now get bonus HP, 25%. So I actually expect Svenskeren to go Spectral Rave and focus more on some AP early on, be very aggressive, maybe even Moby Boots and just gank around. It means team fights are going to be a bit harder for him because he's going to be very squishy in the start. But as long as he plays them properly, he can get a lot of damage off. And Jankos just looking top lane, nothing happening.
Oh, Aqua Prison blocked out nicely by that Black Shield. That binding does land from nRated. Stops Celaver attacking, but Candy Panda taken very low. Heal was used in that exchange as well, so he's backing off to base. That's going to give Celaver some chance. You can see he's immediately trying to shove that wave back onto the tower.
Yeah, so getting this wave to the tower, as long as nRated won't be able to freeze it just outside, he should make sure to push it all the way in, deny some farm from Candy Panda. And we actually do see them push it all the way in here, so very nice. Not even going to recall himself. Probably farming up maybe for BF sword for Celaver here.
Yeah, let's see if he's going to rush in towards that one. We'll see how it works out, of course, because these Lucian players have been going very differently. He is going to back off. Let's see how he builds it. We can see Candy Panda, of course, going towards a Vampiric Scepter early on. It's another Vamp Scepter for Celaver. I wonder if they're both going to go Blade of the Rune King here.
Yeah, so either... I mean, we're going to see Blade of the Rune King as first item for Celaver. Candy Panda can maybe still go towards Trinity Force and just delay it a little bit, get the early lifesteal. But he could also go towards Blade as the first item, making it a little bit more squishy. But we'll still have a lot of damage in these fights here with the 8% on hit, of course, from Blade of the Rune King.
So let's talk about CS records for a moment, because of course Overpow is in this mid lane. Jesiz, do you think he fancies maybe trying to go for something here? Overpow was the person that both Peke and Froggen got that record against. Which I'm sure he absolutely despises, by the way.
Of course. He played Lulu both games against Orianna, I believe, and he couldn't actually stop them from farming Raves, even his own Raves. They kept taking them away from him. I'm not sure Jesiz will be able to do the same. And you actually see both of them farming really well here. Teleport was used by Overpow, so another good thing about the teleport for him. He could take some damage in lane while he farms, go back to base and teleport in. And Jankos staying around here. Here's ult onto Jesiz.
There's the fish thrown out. He flashed in a little bit late there, but he does manage to get away. The stun does not catch on. And that's a problem though. Syndra, of course, fairly immobile. With that flash now burnt, which is exactly what that gank was aimed at.
100%.
It does give Roccat an opportunity.
And about 75 seconds on ult from Overpow, then they can try once again, jump onto Jesiz, put the ult onto him, and try and get a kill, unless Svenskeren is around to help him. Freddy in his top lane together against Xaxus is actually winning the lane on farm, like we expected with the Yorick, and just poking away. Both of them might already use teleports, so we do see very, very standard lanes farming away now, because with the lack of lane swaps, we won't really see the early dragons anymore, because you're laning in. It's way too risky to just run straight down to dragon with so many people around.
Yeah, the 3-minute dragons or 3:30 dragons are seemingly a bygone era in 4.11. We'll see, keep our eye on that, how it develops. So, blue buff for Overpow, important for him, of course, keep that cooldown and mana ticking up there. Barrels being rolled out from Xaxus, and this is a different Gragas from what, of course, what you used to see back in Season 3. It is no longer the crazy powerful monster it is, but it's of course a very tanky, annoying monster. But then again, they're both annoying champions in that top lane.
So Gragas normally builds Rod of Ages as his first item. He needs to get some tankiness going, because you want to get in the face of people, you want to bonk them in the head with your big barrel, with your W, of course. And therefore you need some tankiness, otherwise you're just going to die pretty much instantly. Unless you want to focus split pushing, you can actually build like Lichbane into Hourglass and be a split pushing monster. SK though, invading in, no ward on the red buff. So basically just blind checking it.
It wasn't so that Sven was looking to maybe get a ward down there. He did move in with Jesiz and support Candy Panda, exchanging with Celaver. Cologne being used actually. Aqua Prison catches on nRated because he had to use the Black Shield on Candy Panda. Celaver steps to the side, doesn't quite get the damage down, but again, Candy Panda very, very low in this bottom lane.
No potions, heal is just about to be ready, so he is going to stay in the lane. Roccat gonna push it in once again, and they have full control of this bottom lane. Yes, Candy Panda can pick up some farm, but every time there's a chance for Celaver to go aggressive, he will. Now both junglers down this bottom lane here.
Jankos passes through a ward in the Triburst. They're fully aware of his positioning. They're actually going to try and use the Candy Panda as the bait. You can see Life steals himself up a little bit of health there, while Svenskeren stays just off the side, unseen so far.
We do also see Svenskeren with the Spirit Stone, so he's going towards Spectral Wraith. More aggressive, more AP. less HP, of course, so he needs to be very fast at hitting all his bursts and then back away, otherwise he will go down. And of course, Celaver going to very, Jankos going to very standard. I don't think there's any other option on Elise.
Keep him below there. Freddy getting a belly slam to the face. Jesiz, of course, getting that extra goal from the ghouls if he gets the lances on them, so we'll keep our eye on that. It does technically count as CS count, but as you can see, Freddy, he's quite some way ahead in this top lane now.
We need to see Narcissus as the hard counter to Yorick again, just farming on the ghouls, every time getting stacks on his Q. But Gragas, I mean, it's a pick we have seen in Korea for a long time actually. Also in NA, and now finally the European top laners pick it up. We just need to see if they want to build a little bit different, if they want to go very tanky, want to go a lot of AP. I mean, how exactly they want to build it and what the purpose is going to be for them in teamfights. Because late game, he doesn't actually do too much damage. I mean, he's okay, but he's more utility-based. He has the slow, he has the knockback. A lot of CC he brings at least, and a lot of chances to set up ganks or set up kills.
Yeah, Gragas is something we talked to. We talked to a lot of the top laners, of course, last week. We're saying you guys are going to be playing Xaxus. We've seen it so much. Jesiz is going to have Earth popping up. He's going to go down. Here's first blood potentially coming in. It's Jankos that takes it. Svenskeren trying to counter the guy will get him. Overpow trying to turn the damage back around, and Svenskeren is going to get a bit of poke back there. So trade mid laner for jungler.
So Jesiz actually managed to get the kill here. Went in favor of him. He will lose all the farm, while Overpow can try and push it in against Svenskeren here. But we did see the gank. Ulti was ready from Overpow. No flash on Jesiz was used last time. Jumps in, gets the kill with Jankos. But managed to at least trade 1-for-1 because Svenskeren came in. And Overpow dancing around a little bit again.
Well, we talked about Roccat, of course, getting the most first bloods in the lane, and they get it once again.
Yeah, it's against the team against SK.
And it's a team that struggles in the lane phase. However, they are ahead in goal right now. Xaxus has been back. He's teleported back to the top, so that's down on cooldown right now. And he's going to try and put some pressure on you because he's got himself that catalyst to protect the building up to the Rod of Ages. Xaxus happy to take a tower hit. And Freddy is under a bit of pressure. He's got no mana, so he's time to run out of those ghouls.
Freddy's doing the same thing he did last week, where he builds Chalice as the mana regen item, and then he builds in towards a Trinity Force. We need to see if he wants to buy it here or build towards it. No, he's actually going some early magic resist against Xaxus, so just want to stay and farm in the lane and build. Pickaxe on a longsword here. Could be towards the Tiamat maybe.
Manamune? Don't know which way it's going to go. We'll see.
Well, then you would need the tier. It would be very weird if you built towards Manamune now.
It would be very weird right now. We'll see where he goes with that build. Of course, he's different from how he did it last week, but he's had a week's worth of experience back on Yorick, as would lovingly refer to it. Every time I see him, I give him grief about that one. He's like, why you keep picking on Yorick? It is a fantastic champion. My French accent, sorry guys.
Yeah.
So, Svenskeren in this mid lane, sweeping out. They have switched across, and as I was about to mention that, Jankos didn't have one. Candy Panda being blocked out. The Cullen taking all of the damage nRated, blocking off like a good support, but there's a blue invade currently on from SK.
Jankos is moving in. Overpow is nearby with ult and flash ready. Flash up for Jesiz as well. They will actually start it instantly. Jankos here.
Smites it.
Didn't smite it actually. Svenskeren got it.
Svenskeren got it, nRated caught out. Candy Panda, nRated is going to get focused. Devlar not quite able to catch him. The heal being used from Candy Panda brings him back to life. Of course, he used the Black Shield on Candy Panda and quickly became the target.
We just see the same thing every time down this bottom lane here. You put the E onto Lucian from Nami, you dash forward and you just go for these trades. And SK Gaming is forced to back away every single time. They didn't die, however, and still farming. Jesiz flashing the ult here from Overpow.
Yeah, flash being burnt once again from Jesiz. We'll keep our eyes on that one. Jankos absolutely will fancy that, but he's just passed the ward, and now they're going for the blue steel themselves, of course. It was just smited away. Jankos is looking to get that one, but Svenskeren's here, ready and waiting. Double buffed up.
He's actually moving towards this bottom lane. Jankos just staying around. There's a good ward from SK Gaming up in the tri-bush behind the tower to see if Jankos moves in, because nRated without any flash, and they're down to 50%. Could be an easy target if Roccat wants to dive onto him.
Blue buffs up. Jankos needs some help and support here. Overpow has teleported back to the mid lane. There's the Sonic Wave coming in, so he's ready to just jump in and smite this one away, Jankos. That's why Jesiz is trying to play it risky, but this could become a 4v4 very, very quickly. Blue buff was smited away. Svenskeren took it in the end there. No, it's on the right. It's in the corner. Yeah, he took the last one. See whether he manages to get back on this one. You can see full vision of it now. Everybody's backing away. It's going to be SK's.
So
Why
Roccat
gave up so easily.
Yeah, pretty weird. I mean, they sent 4 members in to try and stop them in the start from doing the blue buff, and then they kind of just give up, back away. Nothing was really invested from SK Gaming except for 10 seconds extra on getting it onto Jesiz. So Roccat just put some pressure, back away. Don't actually want to fight because they didn't have any wards around the blue buff, so they didn't really know if they can engage in. And it's always very scary against like Morgana and Syndra. One binding or one stun from one of them, the next one follows up, and the target is dead. Because they are so squishy at this point here.
Voidoos down, nRated brings tormented soil, every little bit of poke on Celaver that he can get. Svenskeren now trying to come in. He has not got smite available. Overpow jumps towards him. Cocoon lands, but immediately they turn the back damage back around. Overpow with little mana here. No blue buff, of course, on him. Ultimate from Jesiz used on Jankos, kicking him back. Svenskeren's there, but VandeR and Celaver come around the side, and now Jesiz in trouble. No flash available for him.
Double buff on Celaver.
Can catch in the right place. Overpow's going to continue to chase here. The rest of the team will follow through. Jesiz simply going to have to stroll away, and Overpow, you feel, in this melee range, will have the advantage. He tries to get on towards him, and Overpow just slides on through and gets himself the kill with the Etching Strike.
But look at the bottom lane here. 2 members from SK pushing on to the tower because the dual lane from Roccat moved from the lane up to this mid lane here, and Jesiz did a very good job buying time for him to get this bot tower down. So while they lost 2 members, managed to get a tower, will of course lose his mid tower. So definitely in favor of Roccat, and a very good play here. Good aggressive move as well from Celaver and VandeR.
Yeah, good reaction plays. They knew at the moment there was an invade from Svenskeren, and they were expecting that. It's something Svenskeren does
again, yeah.
A lot. He does it all the time, goes in for those invades. Xaxus are popping that barrel there. Those barrels starting to get a bit of punch now as they can start clearing out that mini wave.
Still really need to go back and get his Rod of Ages as soon as teleport is ready, because he needs to stack it up still. Still delaying a lot of time with it. 4 members from Roccat though moving to Dragon. Nobody from SK is even close. So will be a Dragon here for Roccat and extending the goal lead.
Svenskeren coming close, not too sure what he's trying to harass there, because he didn't have smite available. The rest of SK were coming in, just trying to delay it.
Get the timer.
Quick to get on it, gets the timer as you mentioned. But Roccat, they have the advantage. It's what they need to win games, and it's working very well for them so far.
This is gonna be an issue though. Overpow has no wave clear unless he can jump on the minions, so SK Gaming just sent multiple members in and take tower.
Well, that was pretty sloppy from Roccat there. They showed themselves, all backing away down the bottom, all went back to base. SK went, well, okay, we got 4 guys in the mid. Let's take an advantage, and a turret for the Dragon, a mid turret more importantly. Not sure that trade was worth it for Roccat, not something they wanted to happen.
And Roccat was actually very healthy. I mean, every member was on full HP after the Dragon. It was only Svenskeren checking. I mean, they could easily have run to the mid lane, clear another wave, and then start recalling. Not everyone at the same time, at least keep Celaver with calling to try and clear the wave, because SK Gaming, it was too easy, as you just said. They just moved in, okay, only if Fizz is here, you can't clear the wave at all. Easy peasy.
Yeah, easy stuff for them. So, the game is starting to move on into the mid phase. It's generally where SK start to get a grip of the game. They are still, as you say,
of course,
100 gold. And the Essence Reaver. Ah, right, yes.
Completely
Picking up. Oh, Dark Binding landing on Celaver. Stun's going to go through as well. Celaver just melted on the tower.
Such a good pick comp from SK Gaming when you have so much single target CC, land one, follow up with the rest, and you're locked down. And you have so much single target burst with Elise building AP and a Syndra, of course. Very, very good use of the pick comp here from SK Gaming, pushing on to the tower. And I can't believe I didn't even think about Essence Reaver. First time we see it though.
It is the first time we see it.
in 4.11. Gives 10 extra attack damage compared to 4.10.
Well, SK Gaming, as I said, moving into the mid-game, becomes stronger and then just push on towards the tower. Earth being thrown out there from Overpow, do next to nothing. And this is going to be another mid-inner turret going down this time. SK Gaming just turn the cogs, step up the gear, and Roccat was too slow to react.
So if you look on the side of Roccat, they have Lucian to wave clear, and they have Gragas to wave clear. But Gragas is stuck in the top lane against Yorick, which means as soon as Celaver was dead, there was no wave clear left, and SK Gaming just stayed, pushed down the tower, took the kill here. Overpow though, looking for something.
Roccat going aggressive. Xaxus comes in there. It's a good calling onto Svenskeren. He goes down. Overpow tries to get in there. The Yorick ultimate used on Svenskeren. Bubble does not land. Flash is burnt out there. We do see, of course, the scrying all being used to check positions, but no tower gain
No
yet.
Candy Panda up in top lane. He's running down towards the bottom lane. Only Jesiz, nRated, and Freddy to try to defend this tower, and all 5 members from Roccat here.
Risky defensive play from SK. Can they keep
back
up
away?
They have to back off, and that will be a tower gained by Roccat. That still puts them at 3-2 behind though. The question is, can they keep pushing this top?
Well, they're definitely gonna try here. Svenskeren joining in. Can they Panda still in this bottom lane here? If they push this wave fast enough into this tower, they might try and go for a dive. There's no ulti on Freddy, remember.
It's gonna be a 4v5 though, with a lot of crowd control. Jesiz, of course, can land a multiple stun on these. We do see Cocoon start binding to everything there, and Roccat back away while Candy Panda still pushing that bottom lane. He may be able to get a wave on towards that inner turret if SK can delay them.
There's teleport on Overpow in case he wants to go down and stop the wave. They're still looking for something up here.
Oh, Svenskeren's going to be the target, but he repels away from Earth. The wave comes through. Svenskeren may go down from this one, but he will be the only drop. Will he get to the tower in time? No. Jankos lands the Sonic Wave. Freddy now the target. Xaxus turns around, uses the barrel, locks him in there. Jankos comes back around the side, has got the kick available. A good stun comes out from Jesiz to keep him at bay. And SK back away. While this was all happening, Candy Panda did push that wave, but he had to recall, and rightly so, because Overpow teleported to the bottom tower.
It's a very smart play by Roccat, using the 2 teleports to stay in the jungle of SK looking for fights, and as soon as the wave hit the bot tower, Overpow just instantly teleported down, picked everything up. So top tower for them, and also, I'm not sure if they actually took the red buff, but at least managed to get another kill on SK Gaming as well. Jankos did pick up the red buff.
Yeah, it was taken away from them. So Overpow's teleport was burnt out there. He's got a Lich Bane, of course, on him. So he does a lot of damage, pushes the wave in towards that bottom turret, but not going to go much further with that one. So this game definitely opening up. Blue buff given across, or taken by Jesiz, in fact, no help required anymore. So let's have a look. Let's take stock of what is happening, because we see some differences in builds. Celaver, of course, going towards the Ghost Blade and Blade of the Rune King build. Candy Panda has gone towards that Trinity Force and completed that.
Yeah, so you just got the lifesteal early because you took so much poke in the lane and you couldn't actually afford a Phage or a Sheen, which would be one of the 2 options for him. Instead, got the Trinity Force. Now completed going towards Blade of the Rune King a second, where of course Celaver wants to go really aggressive here in this mid game with Blade of the Rune King and Ghost Blade. And this Essence Reaver up in this top lane. So you have Chalice and you have the Essence now to pick up, or to get your mana region going. And of course you get some attack damage as well. Most AD carries will still say it's not worth it to build on an AD carry, but on Yorick here we need to see how it works. It is still some gold invested into damage here, where he doesn't get any tankiness from it, but should be cheaper actually than completing a full Trinity Force, which he did last week. So looking towards the tanky items now from Freddy, and we need to see how much damage he can actually do in these fights.
I'm interested he's gone for a Ninja Tabi as well, when there's 2 ability power champions in there for Roccat.
Well, keep in mind, Gragas won't really be hitting him unless Roccat peels as a team and keep walking backwards. So he doesn't really care about Xaxus at this point. And Overpow, if he's going towards the Yorick anyway, he's doing something wrong, and it's perfect for SK Gaming. So Ninja Tabi, because he's going to be the guy tanking Celaver for the entire teamfight, makes a lot of sense.
SK going for this Dragon. Roccat looking to react as Jankos is nearby. Could try and get in his smite still, and that's what he's doing, but instead he gets locked up, and once you're caught out, you generally don't get away.
Oh, he missed.
Ignite is going to help out. Oh, the ultimate from Candy Panda cannot connect, but it does mean SK will get the Dragon.
Got the Dragon, forced them away. We saw the same combo again. You have Cocoon, you have Binding, you have the stun from Jesiz. So many single target stuns. Of course, Jesiz can stun multiple people, but still, lock down one target, follow it up, and try and just get the kill or force them away and take an objective. And now Xaxus down this bottom lane here.
Freddy in trouble here. There's 4 members of Roccat closing in. Freddy was haplessly just keeping Overpow busy. I don't think he realizes. Now he does. Backs away. 4 members of Roccat pushing for this 3rd tower.
Svenskeren is nearby to try and help, but it's going to be very hard. What have you been saying? One hit. Boom. Good job.
Boop. Overpow takes that one. So 3-3 in turrets. Of course, Roccat taking all the outers. SK Gaming taking that inner mid turret, which honestly hasn't hampered Roccat too well, because look at the vision they've got. They've put the pink wards down. They've covered off their blind spots that they would have made available by SK taking that tower down.
All the defensive points here from Roccat. They put up pink wards to see if SK wants to go into their jungle and put some wards and then clear them instantly. They have some good control, at least of their own jungle, and will be able to spot SK if they want to go towards anything. If it's going to be a blue buff or red buff, doesn't matter, they will be able to spot the move in. And they've been looking more aggressive than we normally see from Roccat, and I actually like the fact they're looking for these towers. They've even been looking for some picks with their combo, and Overpow on this Fizz here. He's been part of every single kill. DFG now with the Lich Bane. I mean, if you come too close, you die.
Well, maybe, you know, maybe confidence has been built up. Veggie, of course, as we mentioned, is in the house. It's been, what, the 3rd week I think he's been there now. We heard the interview from Overpow during the Super Week, despite the fact they went 3-1. At the time, I think they'd just gone 1-1 maybe, but he was really down on himself. Maybe they've had a bit of confidence building, realizing, you know what, we have won 7 games in the last 10. We are doing actually well. We've turned things around in the LCS. We're managing to try and get in towards that top half of the table. Let's see if we can take down SK, who themselves had a rough Super Week.
And we also, of course, have a new patch where some teams often feel like, oh, this is our patch now. Things are really working for us in scrims. I saw VandeR, he said himself, we've been doing pretty well. We've been winning some scrims here. We're feeling very confident. And it's what they need. And I really like the fact that VandeR, first big Elise in, put full priority on it and now forced Svenskeren into a bit of a new playstyle on Elise. I mean, we see he's built going for early magic damage. We have magic penetration. Now he's building tanky, which is what you need to do so you can actually do something in these fights here. Freddy, though, taking a lot of damage. Popped ult already.
Overpow going aggressive. The wave comes through, catches on towards him. It's just the ghost that's there, but Roccat move in 3v1. They do put pressure down. Overpow not able to take it, but again, we saw the teleport from Freddy being used there. He's now locked into this lane, and look at the top. Xaxus back in there. The double teleport that Roccat have is going to start causing problems for SK.
They will just keep split pushing these lanes here. We see now Xaxus building towards Iceborne Gauntlet as well, so if he gets onto a target in a very long lane here without any towers, he will be able to keep chasing down, keep slowing them, and if it's someone like Candy Panda and he won't be able to kill him in time, it could be big issues for SK Gaming, because Candy Panda will be forced to defend one of these side lanes and just try and farm up. His blade is not completed yet, we're almost 26 minutes in.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how exactly Xaxus does build his Gragas. We've seen a number of different builds across varying players, of course. In fact, almost went full AP damage on one of his
a lot of different
matches
ways,
against Samsung. There's a lot of different ways of playing it. Looks like he's going to be half tanky, half mage, which is generally the standard.
Yeah, I mean, we had ROC over in Korea who built Lich Bane Outlast, and he just went into people and then he smacked them in the head and they just died. And it worked really well. It's a very aggressive build. So it's also an option, but Rod of Ages is the normal first item, so you get some HP, you get some mana going, and then you just... The thing about Gragas is, you need to get in the face of people. Again, you need to body slam into them to get the damage, you need to smack them in the head with the W to get the damage. Your Q doesn't do enough anymore. You can't just sit back and poke with Q over and over. You won't be able to kill anyone then. You might get them low, but you won't actually kill them. So he needs to get in the face of people. So he needs some tankiness, and that's also what we see from him here. Iceborne Gauntlet makes him a bit of a discount version of Kassadin, where you can just chase slow people and keep chasing with body slam and get the slow from Iceborne Gauntlet as well. So it's a bit of a Kassadin.
I like that term, a discount Kassadin.
Yeah, he's a bit fatter too.
A little bit, doesn't quite float in the air either. Has a big alcoholic barrel with him. Shushay would be proud of Gragas being back in that top lane. So, Overpow, of course, had that Lich Bane earlier on. He's got his Deathfire Grasp now completed. Will be looking to explode people.
Yeah, and Jesiz, on the other hand, could have gone DFG as well. You don't really need it on Syndra. Instead, he went for Outlast because he knows, again, I'm immobile. They might target me. I need this Outlast to survive. And even maybe just to avoid getting kicked back or knocked back by Xaxus. So with the Outlast here, if it gets popped too early though in fights, he will be an easy target for Roccat to shut down.
Well, with the Dragon up in 1 minute's time, SK are actually making some moves to sweep out the Baron area. We'll see whether they continue. No, the pick ward still remains from Roccat. What's in there? Roccat themselves have much better vision than SK Gaming on the map. SK only got 1 ward down, honestly. Only 2 now. I can see 3. Tell a lie. Can't count.
So because Roccat have been able to push the side lanes and the mid lane for the last few minutes, it means they can get into the jungle of SK, put down the wards. There's no chance for SK to move into the jungle of Roccat because they have to sit back and defend the lanes, don't want to get caught out of position. So because Roccat have controlled all the lanes, they've been able to put some wards, and now basically waiting for this dragon to spawn in about 20 seconds and then look for a team fight.
Yeah, and let's talk about that team fight. Let's talk about who has the power right now, who is looking to try and make this fight, and who's looking to get a cheeky steal.
Well, the thing is, if SK Gaming managed to land either Cocoon or Binding or Stun from Jesiz, they might go for it and just try and blow up the first target. There's not a lot of defense on the side of Roccat here to avoid it. And Roccat, of course, they just want a full-blown team fight where they can get onto these squishy, immobile members and just try and destroy them. If Overpow can come in, kill a target, buy some time. He's actually going for Freddy here.
This is a problem. Freddy separated from the team, and Overpow fancies this one. DFG already used on Freddy. You can see the damage coming in from range. SK collapsing in just off to the left-hand side of the screen. Overpow does go down. Freddy turns it back around, and now Roccat in trouble. They're trying to collapse on towards him. You see Candy Panda putting the pressure down. Jankos having to run away. He does have Banshee's Veil, so he should be able to survive. The magic damage shouldn't get locked up. The slow from Xaxus will give SK Gaming this dragon, yeah.
So Overpow went aggressive onto Freddy. He took the fight, and we just saw the power here of this Yorick. Popped the ult onto himself instantly. Won the fight here. And if he can keep doing that throughout the entire game, then it's going to be very hard for Overpow to actually split push, and they need to rely on Xaxus then to split push up in a different lane with his teleport.
Yeah, let's just face it, that was a straight up 1v1 skill
100%.
fight between them, but also a very well farmed Freddy. 283 CS now up against the 234 of Overpow. So Overpow couldn't quite take him down. He's got himself the Void Staff after that fight. We'll see whether that helps him out. Pink Ward being cleared out by nRated as he moves up, and Roccat actually, they were worried here. You can see the Scrying Orb was used. They were worried that SK were taking Baron straight after it.
Really an issue for Overpow. I mean, yes, Yorick has a lot of sustain, but he does have his W to reduce the healing by 50% for at least 5 seconds, and yet still couldn't take him down. He was too tanky. Managed to just destroy him, and even if he had died, he would just resurrected once again and been able to chase Overpow. So we need to see what he can do. Void Staff is definitely gonna help against all the magic resist from Freddy here. We looking forward to next round of the one-on-one.
Yeah, the Spirit Visage was completed by Freddy, so he's got himself another item to compete. He's pretty certain he's going to be up against Overpow in the second round of that fight. We'll see how it continues. Last Whisper picked up by Celaver as his third item. Meanwhile, Blade of Rune King has now been completed by Candy Panda, who has been chasing, honestly, on Celaver. Not too far behind, pretty close in CS, and of course, just the kills and assists that separate the two so far. Candy Panda, as of yet, has kind of had as much as involvement as he wants, because he's just going out farming, getting that Kog'Maw to the late game monster that we all know him to be.
Had some issues in the laning phase, and then he just stayed to side lanes and farmed, grouped up around Dragon, picked it up with the rest of SK Gaming, went back to the lanes, kept farming, Trinity Force and Blade, 2 core items for him here. And also a long sword going towards, again, the late game points. And I did see some math on Reddit about Kog'Maw doesn't actually need Last Whisper, because of the fact he does some magic damage as well, and his W attack speed is a lot better for him. So like a Phantom Dancer instead of a Last Whisper. Want to see if he still wants to build it. Now it's 2v1, it's unfair.
2v1, that's cheating, that's for sure. Freddy going to get caught out this time. I don't think he's going to be able to duel his way out of this one. He will go down eventually. And there we can see Freddy. He's going to get some more farm though, just before he dies.
So unfair here, calling his big brother to help him. Managed to get a kill on Freddy. Jankos actually staying to push it in with Overpow. Candy Panda going down to try and to defend. SK Gaming couldn't actually push because in the mid lane, Celaver and Xaxus were sitting and just clearing the wave instantly. So there's no chance for SK Gaming to push it down.
Well, let's see, the Sonic Wave lands. Is he going to go for it? No, blue buff given away. And that will be going towards Jesiz. Roccat moving though, look at this. Sweep it in. Can they 3-man this one? Oh, there's a ward just off the side. Going to get spotted out. They're not going to start it. Instead, they're just going to keep on pushing. And of course, Overpow's backed off. He's got teleport available if they want to start it.
They know it from the ward. They know it. They can see Celaver hitting the Baron here. They could just before when he moved in. SK Gaming are moving. Candy Panda is very far away. Teleport is up on Freddy. He can't join in.
He's a long way away from this one. The cocoon does not land. Overpow just off at the side there. His ultimate is back available. Roccat quickly peel. The moment they see that ward go down again, that one sneaky ward off the side there that nRated placed gives them the vision.
So it happened when ping ward became permanent, and you can just place the ping ward and keep it there forever. People had to find new ways to have some wards around the area, and they just put it around the corner where normally you won't check with either a ping ward or a sweeping lens. And it actually forces teams now to have 2 ping wards when they do Baron, one inside the pit and one just outside the pit, so you can see everything, which is a bit annoying. And something most teams actually don't do. So good trick here by SK.
SK trying to get some sneaky picks off the side there, but you can see they were in full vision. There was a ping ward just around the back of the red buff that gave them vision. Roccat, of course, also spotted out by a ward there. So both these teams trying sneaky plays but not working out. While this is all happening, Freddy is happily working away down this bottom, shoving in the wave, and he's going to be on that turret. He's got a lot of damage to push on towards it, and Roccat a little bit slow to react. They will be coming in 2v1. Overpow goes directly aggressive in there. This time around he is not ganging up, and SK actually moving down in numbers. All of SK back in the jungle. Jankos might catch him out here. Is he going to go towards it? The wave will catch through. Jankos does not fancy going in amongst those four, though.
No, they need to get onto the squishy target in the back. Freddy, though, flashing away.
Freddy caught out. Explosive cast being used by Xaxus. He flashes away from it. Sonic Wave did land. The fish this time will not do anything. That Black Shield working wonders by nRated.
It is very hard for Roccat to teamfight unless they get to Candy Panda Jesiz and just blow one of them up with Overpow and his DFG here. So SK Gaming managed to back away. Flash was used, however, from Freddy, so at least they got something out of it.
A lot of ultimates were used by Roccat there, and SK know it. They saw them all come in, and now they're pushing in. There's no wave, there's no fish, there's no culling, and there's no barrel. Only just the kick available by Jankos, and SK trying to push this one in. They want to force Roccat to put themselves into a sticky situation.
Svenskeren is fairly low. Freddy almost out of mana, and Xaxus in trouble.
Xaxus ultimate burned on towards him, but he's very tanky. Svenskeren's going to follow through. Jankos comes back in towards him. Meanwhile, Overpow off the left-hand side of the screen. He's creating a distraction, and SK split targeted there. Not really sure which way to go. Now Jankos using the kick, culling back off cooldown. Gets straight on towards it. Gets himself one. Gets himself two. Freddy caught out around the side. He's going down as well. He's trying to tank his way through this one. The sustain is strong, but he will eventually fall to Xaxus.
So while they only had the kick from Jankos, it was enough. He managed to get behind the team, kicked Svenskeren into Celaver here, who used the calling, took him down, and just moved on here. And they're going towards Baron.
Yeah, 3 for 1 there to Roccat, and they're going to move straight in with the jungler. Svenskeren now down. There's no smite steal available. Jesiz is, of course, up. He could try and maybe get some stun in towards that pick. Candy Panda is alongside him, and that's a lot of damage, actually, that they've got to be worried about. They do, of course, have the Aqua Prism, which catches on Candy Panda. He's in trouble. He's going down. Jankos screams on through on this one. He's going to try and turn it back around. Celaver taken low. Will he get caught down? Jesiz gets locked up. He gets stunned down. He tries to go in towards VandeR. That is not going to do a great deal for you, Jesiz. He's going to drop as well. He got himself 1 kill on Celaver, but it stops the Baron.
Stops the Baron, so SK Gaming, with only 2 members, managed to force them away. We just see the fight again here. Overpow went in by himself. 4 members of SK were forced back, but because Jankos chased onto Svenskeren, he kicks him in here. How many people does he get? Everyone except for Candy Panda actually get knocked up in the air. Celaver joins in. Easy kill for him, and ready going down as well. And SK Gaming, I believe, only managed to get 1 kill from it.
Yeah, fantastic stuff overall. SK, though, getting themselves straight back in there. This is going to level out the gold. You'll see once that dragon goes down. Roccat, though, they don't care. They're moving straight towards Baron. They're going to try and sweep this one out. They started already.
Keep starting this Baron. Celaver is dead for 5 more seconds. Your AD carry. Jesiz on the side of SK is gone too, but the rest of the members with Candy Panda running from base. Needs to try and stop this one. Candy Panda won't be able to help for now, so very good call by Roccat. Very aggressive play.
A race between cooldowns. Oh, the fish didn't quite land on there. Svenskeren looking to try and get involved in this one. His Baron's taken very, very low. Smite range. It gets taken. Jankos locks it up. SK have to back out.
So even though the AD carry was gone from Roccat because Candy Panda just spawned from base, they just went straight for this Baron here. It's been the focus for them. Very aggressive moves onto Baron, forcing SK to react, and now very even in gold still. We need to see what's going to happen. If they want to go back to split pushing with the double teleport, it's going to be ready soon for both Xaxus and Overpow, or if they want to actually try and group up and find a team fight.
Well, SK Gaming are currently tied in 2nd position with Fnatic, and of course, it's a match that they're going to be playing tomorrow, I believe. And honestly, it's a risk for them right now because they were in such a comfortable position in that 2nd place, and right now they're in danger of being caught and passed by the likes of Super Hot, Crew, Millennium. Everybody's catching up on them. This is no longer the invulnerable SK late game team that we saw back in the spring.
It's too easy to play against them early on. You can even do some mistakes or make some mistakes and still come back into the game because they don't punish you as early as they normally would. If you look back to the last split, I mean, they take a bit longer now to close our games, but normally once they get the lead, they are very good. They know how to push the advantage. This game around, though, because Roccat has been playing so aggressive, it's been hard for SK Gaming to actually do something. And every time they moved in for fights, Roccat were there, they collapsed onto them, wanted to teamfight Roccat as often as possible, and picked up some kills. As long as they get to the squishy targets, they can take them down so fast and will be able to win the fights. And they're actually pushing out now in all the side lanes.
And did go last Whisper, despite everybody on Reddit claiming Phantom Dancer is the thing to go. Of course, all the theory crafters out
Just
there.
have to say, Last Whisper might not be the best for Candy Panda in this situation here, but a Lucian still needs Last Whisper.
Absolutely.
Just gonna say it, there was some talk about it, where people were like, no, never see Last Whisper again on any AD carry. Not the case.
Of course, it is situational play, and we do see Randy and Zomans being picked up by Jankos. Xaxus, of course, is always a tanky target. And speaking of tanky targets, both these junglers trading back and forth, and Ward killing is on mass effect. So right now in this top lane, let's see what's going to happen in here. Are they going to keep pushing this one? It's in a turret. They work towards it very early on. If you have just joined us, of course, Roccat, you can see I've got that Baron on them now. Had a very good start here. And this Gaming are under pressure as Roccat continue pushing. Meanwhile, down the bottom, Overpow and Freddy in a one-on-one situation. But Candy Panda should clear this wave out, no problem.
Yeah, so Roccat should actually send Xaxus somewhere else and have him push a lane, so they push all the lanes up towards SK. Overpower down his bottom lane here. Still some issues against Freddy, who keeps running after him and poking him.
Keeps on being a straight nuisance. This time around, he's going for it. Ultimate traded. Freddy will survive. Overpower trying to bait that one out. Now he fancies it. He wants to go for Freddy at the moment that ultimate cooldown is off.
And notice here on the minimap, Xaxus now actually moved to this mid lane, was just waiting for his team up in the top lane. And Overpower once again jumping in. There's no mana on Freddy. Does have the chalice, however, so we'll be able to regen some of it up here. But Xaxus now pushing this mid lane. Very good move by Roccat, sending him in because he has to teleport and now pushing every single lane.
Well, 1-3-1 was the split push that Roccat did so well back in the spring, but Xaxus now is looking to try and get on towards Freddy. Explosive Cask is available, and these two have been trading back and forward. Freddy now 0 mana available to him. He can't hold this sustaining much longer.
This is the only thing they could change, was actually send Xaxus top and the rest of the members mid lane. But instead they want to keep Xaxus close to this bottom lane so he can help Overpower just roam between the two lanes here. Come in, maybe tower dive him. Gragas will be able to tank the tower, and Overpower doesn't need it. He needs only a few hits here, a few seconds. He will actually be able to take down Freddy then.
Xaxus making his way back up towards the top. It's going to be a 4v3 if he can get around the sideline. A good explosive casket could knock them out. Freddy in trouble. Overpower strikes. DFG was back off cooldown and went straight for it.
Went straight from ulti was ready as well. Xaxus using his ult to force SK away from the tower. But now they're in trouble. No teleport. Nobody to defend his bottom lane here. He's going to push into the inhibitor.
That's going to be the one tower down.
Back away,
they can
the tower.
keep going. The second tower will follow. And this Baron, well, it was not exactly used too successfully. They get two inner turrets, and that's all they wanted.
Yeah, it was perfect here with Overpower. First, he used the ulti in DFG, forced the ulti away from Freddy and all the mana, and then he just stayed around, kept poking onto him over and over, and finally, once the ulti and DFG was ready again, picked up the kill, forced SK to back away from the top tower, because again, who's gonna defend the bot lane? We have to go away, and therefore they lost. We have to back off, and therefore they lost both towers now. Still keeping the inhibitors alive, however, and inhibitor towers.
It is still very close across the gold stakes. The main difference between the two junglers, you can see Jankos just around about 1,500 gold ahead of Svenskeren. Other than that, the AD carries, it's about 800 gold, 600 gold in the mid lane, the top lane, just 600 gold back and forward. So very, very even between the two and the supports as well. So at the moment, this game's still teetering on the edge. While it's Roccat that have been on the attack, that was purely down to, of course, the Baron that they had. That's going to be back up in 2 minutes' time. Dragon, though, is up in 15 seconds. And he's going to walk straight into a trap here. nRated, though, good black shield there. Svenskeren's the man that's been caught out. He's going to repel. He's got nowhere to go.
Yes,
he's going to have to drop straight back in there. Flashes away. A good coverage from the rest of SK. And he gets out alive. Freddy, though, in trouble at the top. Overpower strikes once again and gets himself another kill.
It is so hard to deal with Fizz once you get some items. Yes, early on, Freddy won against him, but now, as soon as the voice dive was completed, actually, he just started winning. And with the hourglass as well, the armor against Freddy, he's just so strong in these one-on-ones. And therefore, he will be able to kill him over and over. They're going in.
Oh, they're going on Jesiz. Explosive cast, not quite enough. nRated's going to go down, though. He gets popped by Celaver. Look at Overpower motoring in there, teleported on. Jesiz ended up knocking him away. But there's going to be an inhibitor turret going down.
No minions, though. Candy Panda's here. Svenskeren is here. Dodges the bubble. Will be the tower for Roccat.
Xaxus having to tank this one out. It will go down. He's very tanky indeed. They can move on towards the inhibitor. Candy Panda trying to get the poke on towards Xaxus. Dodges out the cull in there. Overpower strikes once again. Svenskeren, the ultimate ultimate being used on him from Freddy as he goes down. You can see Candy Panda caught out, Celaver going in, but he's gone way too deep and he gets traded back and forth. And now Overpow low, Svenskeren on towards him. He's just Lasagna's just at the right moment, and Jesiz did not get the kill. Jankos instead manages to get himself a kill. Jesiz finally gets the kill on towards Overpow, towards Xaxus, sorry, but Overpow, he got away.
Still lost inhibitor here, gave up some kills as well. Things are not looking good for SK Gaming. The fact that Freddy can't do anything against Overpow means SK Gaming are forced to just find a pick. We're just gonna see it again. I believe actually the ulti from Overpow hit onto Candy Panda just in a few seconds. And then Celaver going aggressive, want to get this kill here. A bit over-aggressive a little bit by himself. Easy for Jesiz to actually manage to pick up the kill. But then they can just keep chasing in. Focus always on inhibitor. Overpow, oh, huge troll.
Oh, so
and
close.
Even the spider backs away. Oh, so unlucky. The spider was moving. I was like, no, never mind. I'm just going to go away and kill him.
Well, SK looking to try and take the dragon here. Jankos going to try and come in, Smite steal it away. He gets it. And now, once everything starts going against you, that is how it goes. And just like that, he sneaks in, Smite steals it away. That's only the second dragon, though, for Roccat. Check out that wall placement, though, back on the Baron. You can see nRated this time snuck them both in the pit. Blue Wolf picked up by Jesiz.
So Dragon and the fact that SK Gaming, at least the solo laners, did really well early on, means the goal still somewhat close. I mean, SK Gaming can still come back here. And now they need to clear both wards, so we have to pink outside, and we need a pink inside the Baron pit as well, if they want to clear everything away and try and force SK to move in and stop them, and then just start the team fight from Rocket's side. Xaxus can go in with ulti, Jankos, the Fish as well, you even have Tidal Wave. I mean, multiple options from Rocket to start a fight.
So SK, can they be the late game team that they always pride themselves on?
Freddy looked kind of sad.
Overpow. Got to be careful he doesn't go a little too deep on this one. It has been something he's done before. He's gone too aggressive, caught himself out, put his team in a dangerous situation. He's actually going to try and push the top wave while SK keep themselves busy. No, he's thought better of that one as SK made a little move. And it's a little ward dance right now as SK.
They want to force a teleport. They want to force teleport away from Xaxus. He's down his bottom lane, pushing it, backing away. No teleport used yet by Xaxus. He's keeping it very cool here, waiting to see if SK actually want to stay on the Baron or not.
He didn't need to. Scryno went down. They saw SK backing away from it, and of course, you just saw Overpow off the screen there, off the side. Still pushing that bottom lane. SK are going to have to react to this one. They've got two players with teleport. He could quickly get Overpower down the bottom there. Giving up the Baron for an inhibitor may well be worth it, but they're going to start it off. Candy Panda is in that pit, and this is a dangerous time. Candy Panda could get singled out. Instead, Jesiz is going to get focused. Zonya's out.
Yes,
Jankos is on him. Overpower comes around the side. That's going to be him going down. nRated caught out. He gets dropped out now. Then it could turn back on towards Freddy. Freddy goes down, and SK are just getting wiped off the map by Roccat. No problems whatsoever. And they came in from every angle. Often it doesn't work, but this time Roccat played it superbly.
Everything went wrong from SK here. They start the Baron and Roccat just collapsed from multiple sides onto them. There was nothing they could do to get out. I mean, Jesiz died by himself. Ulti from Freddy was used on nRated. The support, nothing worked. Easy team fight for Roccat, and they deserve this one.
So Roccat will be taking victory here, I feel. I don't think they're going to be able to stop this one. We see the
1v5
towers going down. They want the points, that's for sure. Svenskeren's got nowhere to repel to. He's just going to get straight, drop back down. Oh, Cologne does it. And it's going to be actually Overpow that picks up the kill. Roccat will take down SK Gaming and take revenge for the win in week 6.
Such a good performance. Early on, they try to make a lot of plays. Just an issue around the Dragon here from Roccat. They are again the team with the second lowest amount of dragons in the league, and we saw it because SK Gaming, they kept even in gold due to the dragons. But then again, once the team fight started, once the split pushing really started, where Overpow could actually beat Freddy one-on-one, Roccat just took full control of the map. Got the Baron as well, and SK tried to come back. They tried to force the Baron, force the teleport from Xaxus in the end, but it just meant that they got collapsed on from every single side. I mean, when you have so many immobile targets and the team can just flank around you so easily, you can never really team fight.
Well, it's now 8 wins in 11 games for Roccat. They are absolutely climbing up the table, bowing to Veggie there, the coach. You can see at the back there. Obviously set something up there that the team absolutely would work with. They said it at the start. SK Gaming are predictable. They knew what the picks were going to be. They knew what they were up against, and they played against them superbly.
So a few surprises. I mean, Syndra from Jesiz is a new pick at least, but goes in under his lane bully style, and they had this Fizz pick ready.